Do you ever have that goal or achievement you haven't been able to achieve because you haven't been able to stick to those good habits that keep you on track? Now, my name is Marcus, this is Discover Ignite, and here at Discover Ignite, we discover possibilities and ignite change. So if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. Also, if you do enjoy this video, remember to like the video, because today we are talking about 6 habit building ways that can actually help you make those habits stick. I actually want to go over them real quick for you guys and then get into some of the details on my opinion of why these particular tips help. Now, the first tip I actually have for you guys is actually quite simple, right? You have to actually commit 21 days to that particular habit. Now, committing is something that we all find extremely hard, right? This is where a lot of people fail because they can't commit the 21 days. A lot of times you'll go a couple days and you just don't see the results. You end up, just quitting, right? And a lot of people do this, right? This is where making lifestyle changes is extremely hard, and trying to make those good habits and you have to break all the bad habits first, right? And you have to dedicate the 21 days. So that's what my first tip is to dedicate 21 days, right? Just commit those 21 days. No matter what you're gonna do, you are gonna concentrate on those 21 days to make sure that this new habit is instilled. And I would highly suggest during those 21 days that you also only pick one habit. You don't wanna try to start all these different habits at one time, because it can be extremely hard, right? It's hard enough to build one good habit. So keep it simple, build one good habit, keep that committed for 21 days, and you'll find that this one habit will actually stick. Now, the second one I actually have for you guys is to keep it simple. And the reason why you want to keep it simple is because, again, you don't want to run into a bunch of different habits, right? That you are allowing yourself to try to remember all the different habits that you're trying to execute on a daily basis, right? And if you keep it to one, keeping it simple like that allows you to just concentrate on that one, right? And to constantly remind yourself that that one thing is the one thing you have to get done during the day. And again, if you have multiple habits that you're trying to do, say you're trying to eat healthy and also read at night, sometimes it can be overwhelming, right? It just slowly increment. Once after you go past that 21 days, once you've executed that one good habit, then move on to your next habit, right? And slowly start picking up good habits. And you'll realize that over, a span of 6 months, you'll have 6 great new habits, which is fantastic, right? So remember to keep it simple. And then the third one I actually got for you guys is daily execution. Now, daily execution is extremely important, right? Because if you don't keep it going consistently on a daily basis, you find that you start getting really lax about it and you start forgetting about it, and then the next thing you know, the end of the day's come, you're tired, you don't want to execute on whatever that good habit is, right? So it's primarily good to actually try to execute whatever new habit you're trying to do in the morning. Say if you're trying to actually exercise every day, it's good to execute it first thing in the morning. We have your best energy, right, where you're all coherent and you're ready to rock and roll. Do it first thing in the morning. And then if you find that there's something, perhaps you want to write a book, do it first thing in the morning. There's a lot of things you want to do in the morning. Or if it's just eating healthy, you can prep the night before. That way you kind of set yourself up for success, just making sure that you're executing on a daily basis. And this will help ingrain that, right? So you're used to that habit being around, that you just do it subconsciously and you don't even think about it. And this was what we're trying to develop, is to develop it in the sense that you're not thinking about it, right? It goes on autopilot and you're just executing it every day. It's just part of your routine. And so this is what we're trying to develop, is to make sure it's getting executed on a daily basis. Now, the next tip I actually have for you guys is a visual cue. Now, what do I mean by this? Now, this can be anything from a sticky note that you put up in your bathroom mirror that you see every day, or put it on your wallet and make sure you execute every day, or your purse, whatever. Just make sure it's some place that you can visually see it every day, right? Or set out your clothes, right? If you're trying to work out every day, set out your clothes in the morning. So, hey, yes, this is what I gotta do. Or perhaps you're trying to, eat healthy, whatever it is, just try to put out some kind of visual cue that reminds you, hey, this is a new habit you're trying to build here. And seeing that visual cue will really help you, enforce that habit that you're trying to instill, right? So just keep doing that, and you'll realize that these visual cues will help remind you, give you that, that subtle little nudge. Hey, remember, you committed. and now you just got to execute on it. So that's what I mean by via visual cues. Now the next one I have is have an accountability partner. Now this can be anyone from a friend or family member, or possibly even, you know, have some kind of social media platform in which you can be accountable for, right? Now it could be a little bit more scary for some people to have that social media platform to be accountable, right? Because it's not just one person, you got a lot of people making you more accountable, right? So it's just your comfort level. You pick an accountability partner and you tell them, hey, this is what I want to achieve. I want to go 21 days with this habit, right? Make sure I'm executing on it and allow me to do that, right? Or perhaps, you know, get a calendar, mark it off on every day that you're executing, and make sure that you're allowing yourself to do that so that you can visually see that, right? And allow yourself to be accountable, right? And to show the other person, hey, you know, I did execute on this, whatever you have to do, right? And tell your friend or your family member, hey, on this particular day, right, I want to complete this habit. So what I'm going to do is every time I complete that habit, I'm going to send you a message, right? And obviously this goes off of, you know, trust, right? Because whoever you're telling, you know, they would assume that you would do it, right? You're not just going to sit there on the couch and, hey, I did my daily task, right? I executed on that habit that I was trying to do. So make sure you're honest and you have a good accountability partner, someone you can really trust, right? And someone that you're not going to feel bad, right? That you're going to actually execute it because you don't want them to feel bad. So that's a big one, is to have an accountability partner, especially when you're first starting out. And now one of my favorites, and one of the ones that I think is extremely important that you need to know before starting any good habit, is that this is going to be for the long term, right? This isn't just some short-term kind of thing that you're trying to do, right? This is going to be a lifestyle change, and you need to know that you have to maintain that and realize this, right? Because a lot of people only want to go into it with a short-term outlook on it. That's why a lot of these good habits, they don't succeed, because people will only do it for a span, right? They'll say 21 days. Okay, well then after 21 days, I can stop. And that's not what you're trying to do. You only try to get past that 21-day mark, so it's integrated into your subconscious, right? This is why we try to hit that 21-day mark. But then you have to know that, yes, I'm gonna be in it for much longer, but I'm just using this as a stepping stone to integrate it so I can continue on longer, continue on the rest of my life living this specific way. Now, that's not saying that you can't change, you know, a habit, right? You can always change habits. If you don't like a particular habit, you can obviously change it, but you want to look into it for the long term, right? You want to give it a good span that allows you to really make sure that you're executing the way you're supposed to be executing. You're not just trying to drop it off so you can go back to old habits that you're trying to break. And so that's what's extremely important for that one. So remember, if you guys enjoyed this video, remember to hit that like button on your way out. And until next time, I will see you guys later.